Hey everybody, welcome. For those of you that don't know the drill, please raise your hand and you will be on camera and microphone. Thank you. And remember, don't be afraid of the word panelist. It doesn't mean anything important. It just means that you're going to be on camera. And also another announcement slash statement. I saw there's a couple people had problems with the Dropbox link, and then other people didn't have problems with it. So I'm gonna put it in the chat, and then just so everyone knows, the file request link will stay the same. It will not change. Someone told me it was closed, but I just double checked that and it said no. So just so you guys know, that link will not change. Once everyone's in, I will put that in the chat for everyone.
Hey, Noah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just to clarify, I used the link from last week's Monday check-in.
Yeah.
You said that the Dropbox is all the same, so
Yeah, it should be
okay.
good.
All right.
I'll put it in the chat just in case. Sometimes you never know if there's a little tweaks with the links. So
I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, the one in Jen's post yesterday did not work. So okay, that wasn't just
no
me then.
worries. I mean, it looked like we had enough at least form checks in there, but I will make sure that that is all taken care of for next
All
time,
right,
guys.
thank you.
I thought
Yeah,
it
no
was
worries.
me.
Me too.
No,
Guys,
I'm sorry about that,
Textras.
guys. It's weird because it worked for a certain group of people and then it didn't work for other people. So I'm not sure what happened there, honestly. But
Noah, I had the same process with looking at the comments. So just for fun data collection, did anybody that submitted a video that didn't have any issue? I just want to know where you submitted it. Was it on your phone or your desktop? Did it matter?
Well, I don't know. I did it on Thursday because I'm an idiot. I forgot to do it for Nick on Thursday, so it went through on Thursday.
But were you on your phone or desktop?
It was desktop.
Desktop?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Mine was on my phone. It
And it
didn't
was no.
it didn't work on the phone on your link, and I accidentally sent a request to join the folder, so ignore that. I'm not really trying to access the
no, it's
folder.
You
okay.
can't
It's
come
okay.
in, April.
But then when I went back to Nick's Zoom, that linked worked from
Okay.
last week.
Okay.
I'm
Noah,
impressed,
we will
April,
put
that
our
you
heads
knew how to
together.
do that.
Yeah,
There's
I
one.
can admit, because there's no point. I mean, I'm never going to get in. No, I'm just kidding. But I think there's significant improvement in how low I'm going, and then I'll resubmit.
The only thing I'm concerned, okay, wait, if I do recents, great. I'm trying to make sure if people add that I don't, because if you guys continue to add videos, I don't know where they're going to fall in the Dropbox.
Yeah, the
So
recents is always a good.
I'm going to
plan.
click on recents. Yep. And let it be, hold on.
We should still have a good amount of form checks in there from what
Oh
I saw.
no, guys, I love you. I was like, I don't know how I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. So we're gonna do all we can and leave the rest for Nick, like I always do. I feel like I'm his big little sister that probably annoys him. So I'm just gonna start at the top and move my way through when we can. Good morning. I see a lot of faces I've seen before. I see some faces that I haven't seen in a meeting before. That makes me very happy. If it's our first hang, I'm Coach Jen Widerstrom. We love doing this. Thanks for spending some time with me and Noah and for bringing your questions, submitting those form checks. I know it can be a little bit intimidating, but I can't tell you what a resource it becomes for our entire village, because by you submitting your video, we get to talk through an exercise that I would guess 100% of the people in here are doing. And we get to look at it from different angles and learn about those positions. And oftentimes someone that did not submit the video gets a nuance from what I'm saying or what Nick is saying, and it's pretty fruitful. I do want to mention that there is a chat already going on the side, which is fantastic. So if I'm talking or a question comes up, I'm always kind of tracking these questions, and Noah's kind of helping me make sure I don't miss anything over there. I am going to start with what I promised, which was kind of the really interesting mindset takeaway I had from my competition this weekend. Then I'm going to go into the questions that were submitted in the app. I probably have a larger group today, maybe like six to eight questions that were in the comments, and then we're going to dig into form checks and do as many as we can together. If you have to go, I totally understand. We record all of these sessions, and then when we get the recording, we pop it right back in the article that we announced my Zoom in. Same with Coach Nick. So if you're like, ugh, I gotta bail, listen to this like a podcast later, have it all your cooking, meal prep, whatever you got to do, but we have the information for you. So this weekend was the culmination of a really big CrossFit competition that I've been working towards for a few months, and it was one of those things where I'd had a kind of a weird year with my body. I had weird herniations in my lower back, which I've never had. And then as I was almost at the cusp of healing that in December, January, I dislocated my knee really badly. And I don't know which law it is. Maybe it's Murphy's law, but like an object at rest stays at rest. And it's hard to get going again. And I'm your coach. I'm someone that's done sports and worked out for years and teach people motivation. And I had a hard time getting myself targeted towards something. And I credit the Pump app for, I was doing all upper body, everything I could do to just keep moving, and it gave me consistency. But then I was like, okay, now that I'm on my feet again, literally, I need to work towards something. And that was this CrossFit competition, and it was pretty wild. In my division, there were over 60 teams. And what I didn't realize is there's definitely like a master's division as well, which master's generally means over 40. I'm 43, and I was one of only 40 plus, like 40-year-old. I think like one of 5 40-year-old somethings in our 120 athletes, because my division was pairs of 2. So I was like, God, these people are looking strong and moving fast. And I'm like, oh, because they're 27. So it kind of gave me a little bit of this moment because I held my own. But the big takeaway wasn't as it rarely is, it wasn't in all the good I did. It was in the moment that I lost focus. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I felt, when I knew I was going to see you guys today, it was such a parallel to what I imagine we all feel at different parts of our course of our goals and what we're going for. And there was a workout where on Saturday is in the middle of it, there was a mile run on the beach, which was like a bunch of, and it was dry sand. If you guys have met me at all, I'm not the most courageous runner. I don't carry a lot of confidence in running. I'd rather lift heavy things, right? And that's where I feel strong and I feel like I'm in my power. And so I was really nervous about it. And although I trained and I'd been running and I did some beach workouts, I really had a lack of confidence in this workout. And what was wild is, like, I had my plan. My partner was there with me. I knew what I was going to do, and I had it set in place. And because I'm more of a power athlete, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just run hard and walk when I need to. Run hard and walk when I need to. And right before I get out there, I'm hearing a lot of people chatter like, oh, no. You got to go slow, chop up your steps. Just relax, just don't stop. And I was like, oh man, that's really different than my plan. Maybe I've got a bad plan. And so I start letting fear come into my mind, and we get out on the run, and here I am lacking confidence. I'm starting to be fearful. And I get out of the stadium and we're running. We're probably quarter mile into this mile run, and I see a lot of people walking. And I think what either was meant as a desire to create comfort for me, or maybe they were being competitive and didn't want me to run past them. They're like, it's okay. You can just walk with us. Just walk with us. It's fine. And I'm going to get emotional because I did. And I let go of my plan because I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I'll go with them. I'll just go slower. It's fine. And I let my lack of confidence turn into fear. And I did what was working for other people, but it wasn't working for me. And so not only was I not running fast after I walked, I stayed slow and choppy. I kept walking because other people were doing it and it made it okay. And the irony is that, guys, a mile's long. The farther we go away from the stadium, the less people there are watching. There's no accountability. There's no peer pressure of the stadium of people cheering. Nobody knew that I was walking. So I did. And I kept kind of jogging, walking, jogging, walking. I finally get back to the stadium. And the end of the story is we didn't have enough time to finish the workout because of me. And I felt like this must be what it feels like for every one of us in the app that are going towards something and look to their left or look to the right, whether it's a family member, someone at work, a friend that says, oh, don't track dinner tonight. Just have fun. Just have the tacos, have the margarita. Don't worry about it. Come on. And whether they just are really want you to join in, whether they're having their own desire to have company in their choices, we let go of our plan and we let go of our goals for others just because we're feeling, maybe it's that day, that week, that month, a lack of confidence, a lack of progress. And we immediately shut down what we know works for us for the comfort of someone else. And I feel like I learned that lesson a long time ago. And I think part of what seeped into my head, which I know a lot of us in this phone call share because we're all in similar age groups. It's like, I was like, Jen, you're the oldest one here. You can walk. You have every reason to want to slow down, you know? And so I started making these compromises. And so I'll stop crying now, but it really hit me. And I thought, you know, I went home that night, not angry. I wasn't emotional. I was like, thank goodness that happened, because I needed to feel that. I needed to feel that I did that. And by the way, I got back in the stadium. Was I tired? Was I breathing hard? Yeah. Was I redlining? No, I had so much more in the tank, you guys. And to not do the workout with everything I had and I had trained for was a miss. And so on Sunday, I'll tell you what, I was on one. With me and my partner, we got a second place finish and a first place finish in our heats because I was like, I am not doing that again. I'm not listening to other people's plans. I know me, I know my goal, I know my plan, and I'm going to try it and I'm going to do it. And by the way, I went from 40th place in the workout the night before to second place in first place. And that had nothing to do with my body or my preparedness. It was all up here. And I just want to leave that with you guys. So when you're in these situations and other people are encouraging you to step off your plan and step into theirs for whatever the reasons are, just take a moment to say, wait, what is my focus? What do I want? And I want you to commit to that and keep going. Because this is a CrossFit competition that doesn't matter. It was just for fun. It was just for a goal. But I learned such an important lesson about myself that's going to carry with me in my relationship, in my job, in the way I coach you. And that's the beauty of why we put ourselves in these positions. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's a mindset that I hope you can take a piece of. And I see your messages and I don't want to slow us down by reading all of them yet, but I will. So just thank you for listening and share that with someone if you can. But it was really meaningful for me and I wanted to give it to you. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am going to jump right in. There's no great transitions here. We have too little time. And it's so cute. I see some of you kind of unmuting your microphones and remuting like you want to say something. I feel your love. I love you. I saw like 4 people do that. Thank you. And it means a lot. Okay. A little housekeeping questions that came up. There's been a few people that mentioned in the nutrition tracker, and it's the kilogram pound conversation. It will never go away. Somebody specifically put in 93 pounds, thinking 93 kilos instead of 205 pounds. How can I change that? All you need to do is submit again, what's the word I want to say? Submit a ticket, I think is the way we say it, Noah, right? In customer service, just submit, say, hey, oh my God, I got kilos and pounds split up. Can you help me? And we'll help you out. So don't stress about that. The other thing that came up, and I just want to double check this. Yep. There's been a lot of chatter around when's the next Iron Ticket announcement. It's going to be next month. Okay. So your spidey senses are right. I know we've got a lot going on at HQ. So our goal is every 3 to 4 months, we're going to hit that 4th month announcement. And so just know that that's coming. So thank you for your enthusiasm. It's pretty exciting. So I understand why you're excited too. Okay. I'm going to start from the top then. I talked about my mindset. Okay, this is a wonderfully important nutrition question. I've talked about this a little bit, but I'm going to go deeper. So there's a person, well, multiple people commented on this person's comment. They're in fat loss mode. They have their goals, but at the end of the day, if they haven't reached all their intake goals, what do you do? So the question was, the other day I was short a carb and a fat to get to the green, but I also found myself wondering, do I make toast and almond butter, or I just move forward because I wasn't that hungry anyways? So when it comes to this nutrition tracker, you have to realize, guys, that we are adapting your body to the level of metabolism and the furnace that we want it to be. Often what I see in my clients and what I've seen in a lot of you guys already is that you're eating a lot of calories because they're processed or denser in fats. We're not really aware of that. But are low volume. So high calories, low volume. For instance, a bag of Cheetos, my favorite thing on the planet. A lot of calories, no volume. There's no really protein, there's no fiber, and there's no water in there, right? But if I have like a half a cucumber, you're like, I'm kind of stuffed. What's the deal, right? And this person specifically is like, man, I'm trying to get these calories in and I'm feeling nauseous. So I'm trying to hit the goals. I want to remind you guys, this is an adaptation period. Just like your body with training, you don't start squatting with 225 pounds in the bar. You start with body weight. You start with an empty bar and you build up over time. Your inside is the same. So my answer to your question, if you get to the end of the day, you've got 1 protein and 1 carb left, you're stuffed. Leave it behind. Start again tomorrow. It's okay. Your body is like a furnace. I always like to give the analogy of it's a fireplace and you put a log in and it's burning, and to keep that fire hot, you put another log in. You don't let it die down all the way. And what's going to happen is your fire burns hotter, you'll burn more wood, aka calories, and you're going to start to feel that metabolic rate increase. It's very natural. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. Probably takes at least a month. Adam will tell you the exact time, and he's the smartest guy I know, but it does take time. So don't judge yourself for leaving it aside. I think if you are hungry though, yeah, there have been times I've done a spoon of peanut butter at the end of the night because I had the fat and the protein left. I was like, oh my God, amazing. I'm starving. I want to eat this. So don't force feed yourself, but no, the goal is to each day get there a little closer, even if that's like a half serving more. Okay, so just know we want to increase as you go.
Thanks, Jen. That was my question. Yeah, and I was
Oh,
curious.
Oh,
I have been
yeah.
eating, yeah, I've been eating, like I eat really quite healthy I have for years, actually. And I just thought, I'm going to try out this nutrition tracker. And I thought you were going to tell me, no, go ahead and eat almond butter and toast. That was my hope because, it would be a nice addition to my life every day.
Yeah.
But
Carney was like, do I have almond butter? I'm like, yeah, have it,
yeah,
eat it. But if you're
yeah.
stuffed, don't do it.
But yeah,
It's
just
okay.
don't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was just
No.
kind of on the fence. I don't really feel hungry or full. So no, thank you for that clarification. I
Yeah, of
appreciate it.
course. And even John jumped in on you and said, I'm short on carbs and protein for the workout days. So guys, when you move that toggle over to workout, you get more, which is why working out, that's why I always say muscle pays for the party. I love working out because I get to eat more. So just know that's there for you. But you'll play with that and you'll play with things that work for you. Like I love my carbs that my body grinds up. I love sweet potatoes. That's one of my go-to carbs always. Okay. Sarah, I just looked over and saw this. Yeah, you can ask nutrition questions in this in this. This is not just form checks. This is all questions. So feel free to pop them in here too. So there you go. But the goal is, just to button this, you do want to meet all those servings because your body requires them, and you want to make sure you're eating enough so it has enough to recover, repair, and drop excess body fat that we don't want. So it just takes time. So just stay in it, okay? Very thoughtful question though. James wrote in, I've uploaded multiple videos. They're all using a barbell. My question, there's a barbell squat, barbell front squat, and a split squat. My question, all three of these exercises cause me a lot of discomfort. The barbell on my back, the barbell on my wrists, the split squats are just hard. Are these just some embrace the suck things, or can I use a different technique? Right. So what we ask you to do in the app is to put yourself into new shapes that your body might not be used to. That's how I want you to think of it. Don't think of it as like, oh, this exercise is hard. We're asking your body to create a shape that's going to load your muscles properly, recruit the right kind of big and supportive muscles that is going to strengthen you as a collective, right? Like that's why we love these compound movements. Even though it's squat, you're moving your legs, your whole body is working. Like I feel it in my pinky finger, So part of it, yeah, that's very Nick term, like embrace the suck, like get used to it. Guys, a lot of this is exposure therapy, meaning the more you do the position, the better you will get at it. Part of this, and Catch talk about it a lot, I gotta tell you, lifting weights is mobility work. The best strength and conditioning performance coach on the planet. His name's Cal Dietz. We actually just interviewed him on my podcast, and that's going live. He doesn't warm up his athletes. He does RPR and he gets them going. He gets them into position. So just know the more you do it, the more you can do it. And actually, there's a question that also came up. I can't remember if it was Sandra. Did you ask about the I Dream of Jeannie? So I'll just talk about it real quick. And Ray, I see your hand up. Hold on, I gotta get the Swiffer out. So Sandra also asked, like, at what point do I get to switch from this position on a front squat? Thank you. I call I Dream of Jeannie. So you need the barbells on your shoulders and you're squatting like this, right? To the traditional squat, right? Like here. The answer is slowly over time. So when you're doing this and you're ready to do more, and you're feeling like your thoracic spine, your rib cage is staying up, Sandra, you got to just start to switch. Start with an empty bar and use it as part of like your workout sets. I go light, and I mean, by the way, I'm not gripping the bar. I'm not here. I use the tips of, I think, these two fingers, and that's it. So you'll get better by going slow and just really feeling the position, not rushing, not loading too much. But by the way, a 35-pound bar, 45-pound bar, that's a load. And then by the way, Sandra, throw on 2.5s. Don't worry about bigger plates. Throw on 2s. Can I hold it again? Part of it's telling your body neurologically, I am in control of this range. I can engage and get myself upright again. And when you can move with control, your body gives you access to more range of motion. That's something that's really important for you guys to know.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, of course. I want to just point out, Ray, you had a question on this. Go for it, buddy.
So more of a comment, just as somebody who's experienced this. I've never been very flexible, especially in the shoulders. And I've always I always did a cross arm, but I never actually had the bar up high enough. So between your coaching and Nick, one thing Nick pointed out to me that taught me a lot about that front squat is to do a zombie squat. You put your arms out right in front of you and you don't hold the bar. And then that kind of teaches you where that bar has to sit. It pretty much has to sit right up against your neck. Yeah, exactly like that. So by learning where the bar was supposed to sit, then I started working slowly on getting those two fingers under there. So somebody who's not flexible, who's had bad shoulders, shoulder surgery, the whole works, I now can do a front squat. But I also reduced the weight quite a bit just to get my wrists and my fingers ready for basically what you were saying. And this is somebody from a 52-year-old man who's never had flexibility that I now do front squat the right way. So it does work. Just give yourself that time.
I like that zombie squat idea, because it's like, by the way, like this is Jeannie, this is zombie, right? So it's just one step. I do want to
Mhm.
say something though too. In college, I used to make myself pass out because I was front squat. I was shoving my neck into the bar, guys, and not
No.
kidding. Oh my God. You don't, in a front squat, you're not doing this. My chest is up, and I actually tuck my chin back, like almost like a drawer.
Hmm.
So you can see here, I know this is insane what I'm doing right now, but like my neck is never pressing into the bar, ever, ever, ever. I'm here, not here. Okay. So that's something to think about because you're going to feel it on your throat and it's going to suck, or you might get a little lightheaded because you're pushing your carotids. But I just gently tuck my chin back and it sits just a half an inch in front.
Made all the difference. So,
Can,
yep.
Yeah.
can I chime
Yeah.
in quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so same thing with Ray. I like never trained a lot with front squats, but yeah, I just started like I got tired of the genie one because it moves a lot. So I just went, well, what the hell? I'll do just put one but the bar, just the bar with no plates on. Started warming up, boom. Then I was like, okay, I'll try fives, boom. All right. And then my hands started getting loose, my wrist got loose,
Yeah.
and then I went like for 95. And I'm like, all right, this
But
works.
this is exactly how I learned. I just
Yeah.
started earlier than you guys. You can't, you don't look at like side by side. Like start where you start. It's okay. So those positions take time. Same with the elevated split squat, which is the other thing you pointed out. Part of it's opening your hips. Part of it's getting that range. Part of it's finding that balance. You know, we've talked about this. If you have the elevated split squat, like hold a broom, hold a stick, and do this if you need to. I don't care. I really don't care. I just want you guys to start moving in the positions. All right. So like, just make sure that is it embrace the suck or embrace the change? Your body will adapt. That's why the human body is like amazing. It will do what you ask it if you're consistent over time. Okay. I did want to mention there was a nutrition conversation on the side. So yes, this person said with portions, it's 20-20-10, right? 20 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat. But my hand is so small, it would be less than most people. The good thing is that your hand fits with your body. So even let's say your palm is 17 grams of protein, it's fine. We're overthinking it. You're like, I think about like, what's the really big strong guy? Noah, the Icelandic guy, Thor. Yeah, Ray's nodding. Okay, Thor's hand's like the size of my face. It's probably more than 20 grams of protein, but for his body, it works. That's a serving size for Thor, right? So just use your body as a primer and you'll be just fine. Okay. Okay, I covered Candace's question. She was talking about like getting the overeating, getting the carbs in. Taking your time. Sandra, we talked about that. Great. This was a great one. Carlos uploaded a couple videos. Basically he was saying, I laugh because I have the same problem. I'm developing a cracking noise in my knee. I'm seeing a PT, which is the first great step. I was doing squats below parallel. Now I'm doing it with heel support. So basically, Carlos is saying my glutes are getting stronger. It's just important to know if you have, I both my knees crack and I have zero pain. There's a lot you can do. Think about like, I take a roller and I roll the top of my knees. Like I roll my calves. I take glucosamine and omega-3s. I think that, you gotta figure like we're cars that have been around for a while. We just need a little more care. So I wouldn't worry about it. I'm glad you're seeing your PT. You sounds like you're doing everything right. This was an interesting one. Is Ken on the call? Szymanski, are you here? By any chance? Okay. The squat rack support don't seem to go low enough to set the bar for rack pulls below my knees. I've tried to stack plates, but I'm afraid to slip and it doesn't feel like I'm going low enough. So I looked this up. I'm just gonna, this is a little bit more of an advanced, I'm putting this in the chat. To do a rack pull means the bar is starting off the ground. So instead of, I'm gonna change my screen and go for you guys. So instead of pulling the bar from the ground, basically what he's saying, Ken is saying is like, we're gonna start it from here below the knee, and he doesn't have anything that goes low enough to do it. So personally, I put a link in the chat. That's what we use at Martine's gym, where Noah and I have done strongman training. You can get some equipment that just stacks, and you can set your barbell on it and pull from there. Also, depending on what kind of equipment access you have, I'll sometimes stack up actual weights, just like plates, and just stack up 245s on each side and pull from that. So be creative. It's not the end of the world if you don't have it. But there's equipment like this. This Rogue stuff is a little bit expensive because it's high quality, because people using it are lifting so much weight. But you can find equipment just like this to stack to make that adaptation for your rack pull. So I love that you're so invested that you're wanting to get the equipment. Okay, last two questions. Let's see. Yeah, last two questions. Great. What do you do to train a sports skill parallel to the pump and other, this is, do you and other coaches have an approach? Okay. This person specifically wants to build in more skill around gymnastics training. So from rope climbs and dragon flags and handstands. Guys, gymnastics is an Olympic sport. People train their whole lives to do this. So there's a lot of skill involved and a lot of strength involved. Part A to your question is like wondering if the foundation or maximize your strength program would be best. And what else should we add? So it's if you have done the foundation, Julian, if you've done the foundation and you're feeling strong, get in to maximize your strength. That's what I want you to do. Get strong. And then what you should do is find in another program. CrossFit gyms, I don't really think have the level of coaching they need in the gymnastics arena. I would look into Power Monkey Fitness. They are such an in-depth set of coaches and knowledgeable people that can teach you all of those gymnastics movements and the progressions that lead up to them. You know, you don't just throw yourself into a muscle up. There's many steps that build you up to that. We don't really focus on that here, obviously, at the pump. We have a different trajectory with our members, but Power Monkey Fitness is a great program. They have camps, they have coaches. I highly recommend you using them in parallel with what you're doing. So maximize your strength and then go get skill work and specific strength work from a coach that actually teaches that. So that's what I would recommend. And I love that. Guys, like I go to Pilates, I do jujitsu, I go to other coaches for different areas because I love learning and diversifying my movement systems. So you should absolutely feel like you can do the same. You're not cheating on us, right? You're going out and living your life in a way that's expanding on what you're doing here, which is exactly what we want you to do. Okay. Final question, then we get to form checks. Sarah, and I think you're on this call, honey. You've been
Yes,
trying to
I am.
improve
I think she
stability. Oh, I
for me.
saw, yeah, I saw you. Okay, you said you're improving your stability and increased the weight from your left arm from 5 kilograms to 7 kilograms. So you're doing dumbbell bench press. Did you submit a video? Is that what's going on?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm
ahead.
working, but it's totally dead quiet right now, so I can't actually talk. I was not expecting
Don't
that.
worry, don't worry. I'll get to your video. I realized, I thought this was a question built into your bench press, but you want me to talk about your video, so don't worry. Go back to
Well,
work.
no, there's like nothing for me to do here.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Okay, so I will
Like,
get to your
I'm
video.
just
That's what we're gonna
listening.
jump into. Great segue. Okay. All right. Here we go. Going into form checks. Okay. All right, let's start to party. And Noah, I will remember if I start to demo, I will try to get out of share mode for us. Okay.
Yeah. Just see if that works out for you logistically, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does this work if I do it this way, if everybody see? Great. Okay.
Will you full screen it, Jen? I think there's an option on the bottom right.
Thank you. Hold on.
And then you'll
Close.
also be
1
able to cycle
second.
through videos easier too.
You'll have to teach me how
There
I
you
can go
go.
to the next one from full screen. So then how do I, sorry guys, thanks,
you're-
because no text stress. How do I go from
Awesome.
here to the next video?
So you're just gonna press escape, and then you should be able to just click out to the next. There's an
So I
airdrop.
just keep clicking out every time.
Yeah, it just makes it easier for them to see, hopefully.
Thank you. Yep,
have
I
the
understand, because we had
information.
people talking about the size of the thing. Thanks, Noah. Okay. All right, guys, thanks for your patience. Sorry, I like to see people get into position, so I'm gonna back it up here for Dan. Head was back, we're doing bench press, feet are down, shoulders are tight. Nice lift off. Mm-hmm. Aha. Right there. Interesting moment. So Dan, you're doing great. I actually love these reps. They're consistent. I like his breathing. I like how he's stable on the bench. But what I notice is he's in this great powerful position. His elbow is right here. And then as he starts to press up, instead of the bar going up, look where the bar is now. It's already almost over his neck. And that starts to take it out of your back chest and put it more into your shoulder trap. So only thing I would say, man, is protect that bar path, Dan. So when you're driving your elbow here, you're going up, and then what's happening is as he's pressing, his elbows are starting to flare, and that's what's making the bar go over his neck. So not bad, just really protect that bar path driving upward, because that's why it's getting tough, because he's putting it into his shoulders instead of keeping it into his chest. Okay. So now you want me to pause, you want me to go here. Oh. Guys, it's really helpful if you just submit, well, never mind. Here we go. Oh, yes, I taught this technique. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna talk about a few things. Number one, I am a fan of barefoot training. I'm not, especially with deadlifting. In this case, I might like shoes. This feels a little tricky with the heel, and I'm not sure that you need, Jonathan, this under your foot, because your knee position looks great. So I would actually rather just put you in a pair of shoes and not mess with the weight under your heel. It doesn't look like you need it. This range looks awesome on you. I will also tell you that, and we all do this, notice how Jonathan's reaching forward, his head is down. A lot of times we get a little bit too consumed over range that we lose position. Okay. So what I'd rather have Jonathan do is have his shoulders here stacked over his hips, head over shoulders, have this nice long stacked line. And now what's happening is like he's into his quad, which is cool. I like this 90-90. That's perfect. But this, I don't think his glutes are getting as much of the work as they should. As you could see, his hips are a little rounded. And what all you got to do to fix that is get vertical. So get vertical, and he's kind of reaching to the ground. I'd rather just have it right at his hip and go up and down like an elevator. Okay. Now, when that happens, Jonathan, you're going to feel a bigger stretch in your quad and your hip flexor. I think we talked about that question. Someone said, God, they're just uncomfortable. Yeah, that's part of you opening that frontal plane of your body, that kind of your hip flexor and your psoas, but that's okay. So that's the only thing I'd say. I don't think you need that weight. I would throw shoes on for this one, and I would get vertical. But this is great control and great range. I want you to stack your shoulders over your hips. All right, perfect. Sorry, guys, I'm not sure why guy slides. Oh, yeah. So Jonathan's been working on these pull-ups. I said I wanted a 5-second descent. He said he's going to try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did it. Now, positionally, I'll say one thing. You can see one arm's engaging a little differently than the other. Not a big deal. We're doing eccentric pull-ups. These are awesome. I would say at this point, Jonathan, you're ready to actually do them. And if you want help with the actual pull-up, just give yourself a little jump start. But these are awesome. I have no notes. You're holding that hollow position. You're extending all the way like I asked you from 2 weeks ago. Good job. No notes. Keep going. Absolutely wonderful progress. Okay. Let's see what we got. All right, Ben. I mean, this is my favorite part of being a coach. No notes. This is awesome. Great engagement, great control. Yeah, thanks for giving me 2 versions, Ben. Athletic legs. He's making the perfect muscle face. Yeah, look at that. Nice and peaky. The only thing I would say, when he gets tired, look what happens, right? Workouts are a breakdown of position over time, and we have to try to maintain that position. So he's getting a little tie-tie, and so he's starting to arch his rib cage. I don't really care. I think it's cool, but I want you to squeeze your butt, Ben, because it's easy to arch and then put pressure into your lower back. Keep your ass on, and you're going to feel more stable when you get tired. All right? Nice. Oh, those are 2 angles. Okay. Great. Okay, Ward, here we go. Looks like, by the way, I just want to know who this is. We know that's John Lennon, but who's the track photo of? This is great. Okay. So this is a rack pull that I was explaining earlier. You see that Ward has an elevated rack and he's pulling from just below the knee. So he's perfectly set it up and he's getting into position. I like how the bar is going up and back toward his hips. Really, really good. The only thing I'm greedy for, Ward, I want some tension in the mid back. This is a spot we talk about every single week together. We want to make sure that you guys, yes, your arms are just like ropes. Your arms are just the attachment chains to the bar. But really what's happening is his hips and hamstrings and back are the working muscles. But don't forget the bridge from your arms to your hips is this thoracic chain, right? What I'd like to see is just those shoulder blades squeezing together. Pull that back, put these lats on and secure that link to the bridge. Otherwise, this looks great. The bar is moving well. The bar path is perfect. All right, Sarah, here's that dumbbell press. Yeah, I remember now we did your push-up video and you've been getting stronger. I remember now. Okay. Sarah, where are your feet? What's going on? What are they on? Are those pegs? Sarah? Oh, she's at work. She can't talk. Guys, I want your feet on the floor. Non-negotiable. This is a full body movement and it looks like she's got her toes on these pegs. I can't see because her shoes are the same color dimension. I want your feet.
I've got the midsection of my feet there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, put them on the ground, babe. Put them all the way down.
I can't reach the ground.
Put plates on the ground and put your feet on top of them.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah. You want your whole foot connected. Yeah, that's what I do with all my girls in my lift club. I've got girls that are like 4'11". I just put a plate
Yeah,
where the
okay.
feet go. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
5'3" and I'm not quite that
Oh,
short.
yeah. Oh, so you're a giant compared to them. Yeah, yeah. No, perfect. Okay,
But
let's go.
I am in Iceland, so most people are significantly larger than me.
I understand. I understand the issue. Well, let's see. Okay, so good. Similar issue to what Dan had. So
Yeah, don't worry about the left arm there.
no, the left arm's doing
That's the
good, but
one
what
I
I'm
can't.
seeing is
Yeah,
see
that's
how your
the one I can't
elbow's
straighten
here?
it.
I'd like you to
Right.
elbow to be here. See where I'm
So a little
pointing?
bit further forward. Yep.
Yeah. So instead of here, here. We're just gently bringing the elbows in a little, and we're going to get more of our back and the meatier part of our chest.
Okay.
Because if we stay here, we're getting deltoid shoulder. I mean, we're using some muscle. This was, I saw that really nice explosive push, but you're leaving a lot on the table. I do like your exhale. I like how your core turns on. Yeah, but you have your butt, you're up here. I want you like down here.
Okay, we'll work on that, and
Yeah. And by the
I'll keep you
way,
posted.
even for that left elbow, not being able to straighten yet, great stability. You've come so far already. So just keep going, keep going, keep going.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, I'll be in
Yeah.
Iceland on the 14th. I'll wave to you.
Oh, cool. Well, it's a small island. Where
Yeah,
will you be?
you might actually bump into her in the coffee
I
shop,
live.
April. It's not that big of an island.
Pretty cool.
I actually live near the airport.
I will wave as I fly in.
Oh, awesome.
You will probably fly over my home on the way in.
Well, if
It's
now you know,
pretty
April, if
common
you need a
route.
gym, Sarah's got your back, so I'll
There
let
it
you work it out.
Yeah, look for Nordic training.
Hey, careful what you
Nordic
wish
training.
for.
Oh,
That's where I
yeah.
train.
Yeah, Nordic training. Yeah, it was actually in her video. Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. Andres, you're on the call, aren't you? I saw you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. Okay, let's see what we got. Moving some big wheels. Yeah. Can we just get a little round of applause? See that bar path?
Yeah.
He's going right to the bottom of his sternum. The elbows, Sarah, Dan, look how he's just got that slight angle going. Perfect. Feet aren't moving, hips aren't moving, perfect breath, and he's got a great soundtrack. I love this song. Dude,
Yeah, so
Andres.
Nick told me like to put my shoulders down because I was like lifting my shoulders up. So
Oh,
this
yeah,
is the one
sure.
I wanted to show him. So yeah.
Well, I tell you what, hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because he will want to see it. I'm literally gonna record the screen and text Nick. Here we go.
Yeah, because he did give
Hold
me
on.
some pointers on how to do it.
There we go. Okay, Nick,
Yeah.
you can't hear him, but this Andreas fixed his bench press, and I promised I would send you a video. So here it is. He's kicking ass, and you can't hear the music, but it's a great song. Okay, I'll send this to Coach Nick for you. Okay, buddy?
All right, thank you, Jen. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Oh,
On
how
to the next one
exciting.
then.
Yeah, right. Well,
Yeah.
guys, here's the fun part. Like, actioning change is so exciting. And by the way, how much better did your bench feel, and how much stronger did you feel? Like,
Felt better.
yeah,
Now I know I can bump it up now better and probably won't bug me like in my shoulders and stuff.
exactly. Yeah,
well.
because your shoulder, this doesn't feel so good. This does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bailey, deadlift. Here we go. I already like what I see. Wow. Great. Better every rep too, Bailey. What I really like, I want to show him again. It's a really great thing to think about, guys. Deadlifts, your hamstrings and your butt start the lift, your quads finish it. So we always think it's what's happening behind us, but Bailey does a great job really getting his quads to turn on to finish. So watch it. Boom, quads.
Finley. Come on.
Boom.
Stop.
Oh, the only thing I'm going to say is something that that I know Nick would want me to say? Pardon? Oh, Sarah, you might have to turn off your mic, babe. You should pull these all from a dead stop. That's so instead of doing instead of touching like that and going, Dan, pull from a dead stop. That's what's going to make you mega strong. I don't have any notes. This looked awesome. I saw your toes come up a little bit on your first one, then you fixed it. But do the set the exact same way, but put it down every time. That's what I would say. Okay. Okay. Carlos knee wobble first time squat. Love the details on here. Okay. So as a coach, I'm going to make you guys do what I do. The first thing I look at is the feet because it's the foundation. And in that light, the first thing I want you to think about when you're squatting or doing is your feet. And I want you to take a look at Carlos's feet in a very, very just casual way. He gets loaded. All right. I already saw movement. Did you look at that right foot? See how that toe keeps coming up? He's moving the right foot around. Oh, right foot moved again. Right. Toes coming up again. So what's cool is like, Carlos, your position's great. I like what your upper body's doing. Your breath is good. Your depth is good. Lock in. If you keep dancing around, it's going to create feedback in your body that's unnecessary. I wonder, and I've said this to you guys before, weightlifting is choreography. If you look at Coach Nick, when he lifts and he's in practice to when he's competing and doing a world record lift, it's the exact same steps, the exact same choreography. That's not by mistake. So when you do this, I don't care if you're doing curls, I don't care if you're doing a goblet squat like Carlos, foot, right? Like know where your feet are going, know what you do every time and create that system. That diligence is why when you look at Arnold lift in the same way, you're like, fuck, it's just perfect. How? Because it's the same. He knows exactly where he wants his body to go. And that's what I want you to start to build for yourself. Some of that physical literacy and that physical confidence of like, this is where my feet go. So Carlos, don't change anything, but make a decision with your feet. When I squat, I like them facing forward with a micro turnout and lock in and turn your toes on. I want everybody to sit with their feet side by side. I think we're all seated. Feet side by side. I want you to just grab your toes in your shoes or in your bare foot on your floor. Just grab them gently, not like, not over, just a 5% grab. That's what should be happening when you're working, because when your feet are on, you have arch support. When you have arch support, your knee will track correctly under your hips. We want to set the foundation, okay?
Hey Jen, see
Okay.
that
Yeah.
number? It says 12 of 36. Like if you're on that top
Yes,
bar.
that's where I can
So
shift over.
yeah, that's easier than exiting out.
Thank you. I knew there was something I did a time before and I couldn't remember what it was. Thank you for saving me. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so these are dumbbell RDLs, which is Romanian deadlifts. Okay, here we go. Great. My only note is the one I always give, so I hate that it's repeat. Chad, you don't have to go that far, babe. You've got mobility and you're taking it lower. The only way to load your hips and your butt more is by going backwards. It's that whole I think what was it, a Nick tip about like kind of shutting a drawer with your butt, pushing back. So this last, I would take you right to there And the next movement should be Chad's butt going backwards further, not his hands going down lower. That's all I want. Because we don't need to put that kind of stretch on your lower back when the load is already ready to be picked up here. I love what I'm seeing in here. Beautiful spine. It's connected. His shoulders are on. He's informing great rigidity in his body. The knee angle, everything's perfect here. I just would say at this point, Chad, when you get to here, hips go back. Okay. Oh, my man, Paul in the playroom. Here we go. Oh, Paul, what good improvement. Oh, I'm so happy. If you guys remember, Paul had the bar too far away from his shins. And so it was kind of putting him in a not the best position when he was loading, but he's got the bar right next to his shins. His whole backside's loaded, beautiful spine, great neck position, and that weight just floats up. I could not be happier with this. I also like that kind of dead stop, Paul. Nice. And by the way, I feel like you're even buffer than when I saw you last. Look at these triceps. I literally have no notes. Maybe just go heavier. This looks awesome. All right, here we go, John. Okay, you guys know how I feel about feet. It's not a fetish. All right, let's see. How do I show his feet again? How do I click out and show his feet? Dang it. It's gonna annoy me. John, your feet are just too high on the block. Hopefully it'll do it again. Yes. See how oh, did it again. So
Help
if
move
you
your
guys are using
mouse.
blocks, huh? I can't. There
Move
we
your
go. If you
mouse
guys are
off
using
the
blocks,
picture and then
yeah,
don't
there you
move it.
go. Yeah, well, I am. So John, your foot should not be at the top of that. It should be mid line. So I want the balls, if you guys are using support, I want the balls of your feet completely on the ground and your heels. See actually where his heel is now? That's, John, where your heel should be during your lift. Don't put it on top up there because that actually kind of offset your heel. It was too extreme. Put your heel there on both sides. I'd also ask you to slow down a little bit and try to get a little bit more depth. I'm going to watch this again and stop obsessing over his feet. I also see as you're sitting, it's like his right hip, John, your right hip is coming forward and you can see because your right knee looks like about like 2 or 3 inches in front of your left knee. Maybe it's the angles, but just try to make sure when you're sitting, engage equally on each side as best you can. Guys, like our bodies, our anatomies, like I said this before, but hips are sisters, not twins, right? They're not identical. There's different positions always, but do your best. I want you to slow down that bar path a little, John. The more I look at this now, that depth looks a lot better. So the fact that you're hitting parallel makes me happy. An absolutely gorgeous front rack position. I love, love, love how you see a perfect 90-degree angle, elbow to lat. That is awesome. His chin is up. This is moving well. I would just ask you to change that foot position a little bit down and try to get that right hip back where your left one is so you're both catching the load the same way. Now I'm actually curious, John. Send me a message in the app. I'm wondering if you have scoliosis. I want to know if you were diagnosed with that as a kid. Let me know. It's a common thing I see with clients. I have it too, so I have adaptations. I mean, by the way, guys, John Hartley, he doesn't even look like the same guy. John, you've changed so much. Oh my God. Here we go. I know you mentioned this. Reverse flies. Love. So I would say this is 96% fucking gorgeous. Okay. His feet are side by side, athletic, beautiful, like bend and load here. I love bend over stuff like this because it really creates core support. His hips are on, his legs are engaged, everything's in the right position. One thing I like to see, and I'm going to show you the difference with a rear fly. It's a fun little option for you to get further into your back. And fall. And John, you might have to lighten the weight to get this, and that's okay. So John's here and he's doing this, right? He's kind of getting up into his traps. And when I rear fly and when Arnold rear flies, he pushes his chest through. So when I'm going up, I almost reach my chest down. And if it's too heavy, you'll get stuck doing this. So John is like this. I want more rib cage forward. So think about bringing your chest forward, because if this can come forward, your back muscles can get more engaged in back. Okay. It's a teeny tiny adjustment, but I love the space it creates. I think it was a big lesson I talked to Peggy about at Iron Ticket Day. We're not trying to train small and tight. I want long, wide positions, take up space. If you guys have ever seen Pumping Iron in the documentary, Arnold's going to ballet, right? And he's learning these positions and showing his space. Part of what he did so well was expose the tissue. Length means access to more muscle, right? And so if we get too small, we're not going to get the full breadth and the full extension of that muscle, okay? So just make sure, go down a little bit lighter, John, and bring that rib cage through so you have more muscle to work with, all right? Okay, here we go. Back to here. Beautiful. Ray, here we go, buddy. Says my screen sharing is paused. Did I do that? Can you guys see everything?
Nope.
Looks like it's swirling.
Okay, it says pause. I'm going to stop sharing and redo it.
I scared it.
You did, Ray. You scared it. Your deadlifts. Okay, how do I unpause? I don't know why it's doing that.
There's nothing happening on your end, Jen.
It's so weird. So, okay. Now you can see me, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to share. Let me try this one instead. I'm going to try a different screen.
There you go.
Yeah? Okay. Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Of course, it was on Ray's video.
Of course.
Nice improvement, Ray.
Thank you. Barefoot now.
Yeah, I still would like to see.
Or more.
You tell me what I want, Ray. Tell me what I want.
A little flatter back, a little more ass out.
Yeah. And you do that in deadlifting. It's this feeling of like pulling yourself. I'm going to go closer. It's pulling yourself into the bar. Does that make sense, Ray? Does it?
Yeah, it's basically it's one of those, I try to think of everything as I do it, and then I realize watching the video what I lacked on. I basically got to push that belly button forward a little bit.
It's belly button, but I literally take that barbell and I go, ugh. Like I pull myself into it. It's
Get
a
those lats locked
wedge.
in.
Yes.
I liked
And
it.
Nick,
I liked it when you said pull the bar apart. You know,
yeah,
that
yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
the lats up.
And now
Nick
part of
will,
it, I'm looking at too. If I had my head down more, is my head angled up too far? Do I need to look more down at the floor, closer in front
I'd
of me?
like, yeah, that's a great point. So I like a straight line for the spine in a
Okay.
dead. So because Ray's chin's up, he's created a bit of an angle here, which creates a reaction in the rest of his spine. So I would rather take Ray's cute chin, bring it down to here, and your eye line is still okay. Just correct that neckline. And I think when you take the neckline down, it'll help you get into that bar more. Like Nick
All right.
always talks about taking your hands and even bending the bar, your pinkies down,
Yeah.
like almost rotating in, and that's how I lock in. Even when Eddie Cohen corrects my dads, he's like, I need to see your chest. So for me, I come down and I bring my chest
Right.
up and through. It's really not about my chest, it's about my rib cage position. It's about my sternum position. So
Right.
your sternum is pointing down. I want your sternum pointing forward.
All right. And
Yeah.
that all makes sense. Just hopefully it all comes to mind when I actually
Yeah, I
look
know. I know.
again.
Like I like put it on a post-it and put it like right in front of your dead area and be like sternum check or eye check, whatever whatever you got to do. Whatever
I
you got to
think
do.
I think deadlifts are today's workout after this. So hopefully I should be able to
Oh,
tune it in.
goody. You will. I know you will. All right, let's do 10 more minutes of this, guys. I'll try to keep these calls tight and I'll get to as many of these as I can. Okay, James, let's see what we got going on here. I'm already going to stop. I don't love these shoes for James to squat in. So James, these are a little springy. Nikes are cool. I would almost rather have you be barefoot. And this is not, I don't want to overcomplicate it, but when you're doing some heavier lifting and squatting, sometimes these cross trainers are, these like running shoes create too much feedback with the ground. And you're better off being barefoot or like a pair like flat, like, like Chuck Taylor's or basic soles, but good step in, nice launch. Nice. See what's happening with the feet, guys? So part of this are the shoes. James, like I said, I think you'll feel more locked and connected to the ground. See how much of his foot is off the ground. We want your whole foot down. But I love, love, love the composite of this shape. This is the shapes we're talking about. The hips are below the knees. His torso is up. His chin is up. James, it's a preference. I'm gonna just say to you, and I'm gonna stop the share to show you guys this with the Swiffer. So James's bar is very high. It looks up here, right? This is like on my neck. And so for me, I think that this is not a great place to squat from when it's up this high. What I want you to do, and I'll show you two versions. So I want you to just slide it down onto your traps. That was probably 1 inch. And you can feel it comes off the bony hard tissue in my neck and it sits on my traps. From the back, it looks like this. So John was like this. And all I'm doing is sliding it right to here. And now it sits on that muscle. So I don't feel any pain. And I kind of feel just locked in. And I'm physically pulling my bar into my back. Whereas this would hurt. This, I feel it on my cervical spine. So that 1 inch makes a big, big difference. And I think it's going to create a lot more stability and comfort for you while you squat. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go back to sharing that video. But this looks really great, honestly. And I really want to compliment your bar speed. Yep. Yep. So John, move that bar, switch your shoes. That's pretty darn good, my man. Okay, I'm not sure. Let's see. So I keep saying John. Sorry, James. James. Interesting you don't have shoes for this, but you did for that. Oh, so we're front squatting now. By the way, kudos to you for taking the weight down and getting it right. I mean, does anybody else feel like he heard me from one video to the next and he took his shoes off? But by the way, I love that I have this immediate feedback with you guys watching. Look at how much better his feet are on the ground. They're not moving. They're not, no feedback. So much better. One thing that's going to happen, and this is a great opportunity to point it out. We keep talking about transitioning to front squats from like the genie to the zombie to the regular. You have to do it with lighter weight to get started. It's just part of it, okay? It's really difficult to keep a bar there that's empty because it's not heavy enough. So as you can see, James has got the bar here and it's not touching him. It would be the same for me and the same for Catch and the same for anybody. When there's no load there, it's really hard to find that position. So don't overthink it that like it's off your chest. I would take a looser grip from you, James. I would take a little bit more of a looser grip to get the elbows a little higher. See how his elbows are kind of pointing that way. I'd rather have his elbows pointing out that way. But this is an amazing workup set to getting better. And I think once weight goes on the bar, you'll feel more confidence to let the elbows fly. But great adjustment. And I love you not wearing shoes when you squat, my friend. Okay. We voted in 2 of James. I'm going to keep going. All right. Let's see, Ryan. I love this. Nice to see your knee brace off too, buddy. Oh, Tom. Yep. So this is a video that I have on a movement I haven't been able to teach yet, and I'm glad I have the chance. I want you to notice everything down here is doing its work. He's curling, he's great. I want you to notice what this section of his body is doing. The mid sacrum to lower back, okay? See the arch, right? He's recruiting here to complete the movement. What I'd like to see, and you would have to lower the rate, my man. See this beautiful length in his lower back and hips. The key is to keep that position. And I think about taking my hips and pushing my hips, like almost rounding them forward just a little bit. It's not like dog going to the bathroom. It's not quite that rounded, but I want hip pressure on the bench. And you maintain that pressure while you initiate the curl. So what I would want is this position to stay intact. So at this point, his hips should be down, not up. Okay. Now, if weight is too much for you, you're like, oh my God, Jen, I can't use a band. For me, as strong as my legs are, I don't have very strong hamstrings this way. It's been a compensation for me. So I actually have to use bands. I can barely use weight when I do this exercise, okay? If I'm keeping my hips down. So keep your hips connected to the floor or the bench, whatever you're laying on, and perform the movement. And that is what's going to be the differentiator for this exercise. Okay, Stephen, here we go. By the way, great shoe example. He's squatting flat rubber-soled shoes. Great for squatting or deadlifting, okay? So I'm getting the lower half of his squat. Looks like his heels are up on something. Yep, okay. Wow, I'm pretty impressed. This is a very tall person that's going very low in their squat, that's keeping a really really vertical spine. I would take a little higher elbow, Stephen. I would also say two things. One, your feet look too narrow. I'd like you to move them out. Okay. So if you're going to use that piece of wood, put your feet to the furthest end of each side of the wood. Okay. This is a very, and you're not saying what this is, like if it's a narrow squat, if it's not meant to be narrow, but it's meant to be a I think it's supposed to be a dumbbell front squat. I want you to move your heels open so you can get more into not just your quads, but the rest of your legs. And you really don't need to go this low. Because ultimately we want the load to get higher. And Stephen, if you bring your hips even 3 inches more shallow, this is still a killer squat. So I would open the feet wider and I would drop a little less low and keep going. But this is awesome. I'm very impressed with actually your body control and your mobility. I mean, look at these gorgeous angles. I mean, this is, everybody is so different, but that's ultimately if the goal is to get stronger, we want to just create a little bit more boundary. Oftentimes it sounds funny. There are people that are hypermobile, Stephen being one of them. Their greatest challenge will be knowing the limit of their range and not going past it. All right. Let's get to 25. Okay, Jess, here we go. We're going to see a front squat. I can feel it. Couple things I love. It's a cool technique to put the weights up top. Ultimately, when your elbows are up, you're going to feel more of your core. So I really like what Jess is doing here. I want to focus, as always, on her feet. Jess, I see you almost rounding out to the sides of your shoes, leaving your big and your first and second toe kind of up and flared up. I actually like the heel and pinky pressure here, but also put your big toe down. 4 corners of your feet, guys. You want everything connected. Otherwise, this is beautiful. I got to tell you, honey, the depth is great. The range, the control, it just looks like you need to go heavier, to be very honest. So bring that big toe down and keep going. But awesome, awesome position. I really don't have a lot of notes on this one, girl. Is it from the front, maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Now, what's actually fun to see for me, it looked like her toes were really, really high up on the side, less so from the front, but I can still see her toes right engaged. So just keep that in mind, Jess. Oh, sorry. All right, Lisa, here we go. Got some big weight on the bar. You've been submitting videos pretty consistently. So let's see how we've been improving. Better with your eye vision. Nice. Great connection with her feet. Eyes and chest are forward. One thing I want to add. I actually really think this is, Lisa, you've come so far. First of all, wonderful control from your base to your hips to your torso here. I see such improvement in you. And this is not a joke. This is big weight. So really good job. I just want to point out your hips are kind of hanging out back here. I'm going to show you guys what I mean. She gets to the top of her squat and she kind of does this. See how my butt's kind of hanging out? Just finish the collection. Finish the squeeze at the top. And then go back down. Come up and finish. I want that full clearance. I want your hips to have the full expression, because what's happened if we train with a closed hip, we start to shorten this, and that's going to get in the way of a lot of athletic movement. So always train to completion. I want that hip open. All right. All right. Let's see. All right, we're hitting a front squat, looks like. Little tougher. Oh, she found it. Yep. My greatest feedback here. There's a energetic difference between her back squat and her front squat. Did you guys see? Back squat, she jumped in, bah, started to move. Really move with an intention and intensity. With the front squat, Lisa hit beautiful positions. She hit depth. She moved the weight. There just seemed to be a little uncertainty. Am I getting low enough? Am I there? She's a little wobbly in her hips. So the only thing I would offer Lisa is to approach this with the same attack that you approached your back squats with. It's a different movement. I know it's front squats complicate everything, right? But approach things mentally with the same conviction, and you're especially the items that you're still, working on, and you're going to start to feel that energy come through the lift. Okay, really no tactical notes. That's just more of an energetic one. Okay, I am going to make that I tell you what, I want to go till 9:30, guys. 9 more minutes. Let me try to get these done. Okay, I know I was going to stop at 9:15, but here we are. All right, Paul. Awesome. Listen, no notes, Paul. You've come so far. I would raise your rack on your where you're taking the barbell from. That's it. Great bar path. He's hitting right at the base of his sternum. His feet are staying put. His breath is strong. Yeah, that's the only hard part. If you can make that go up one more, Paul, do it. Otherwise, great. No notes. Perfect. Really, the progress is exciting. All right, Marcos, here we go. Okay. Good dead stop. I just want 2 things. Marcos, I want your hips to start a little higher. See how the barbell's kind of away from your shins? You need to start the barbell right next to your shins so your shins can be vertical. So your shins go up and then your hips go a little higher. So all we're doing is just gently changing the angle of those 2 positions. So shins vertical, hips higher, and then you have the opposite thing going on that Ray does. I want you to lift your chin up just a little. Instead of tucking and having it dip down, just lift your chin a little, maybe look about 4 to 5 feet in front of you. But Marcos, this looks great. Your strength is there, your control is there. Just change your angle slightly and you're gonna really find the weight's gonna fly up. All right, Pete. Nice. So I can see that bottom position is one that Pete's working on. Here's what I'm gonna say, Pete. Upper body looks beautiful. Your chest is open. Your torso's up. This is coming down to a low, like just hip and ankle mobility, but your knees are, your knee is coming in a little on that right side. I see why you're using the plates. I'm curious if this is carpeting. It feels like there's a little bit of variable. The weights are moving underneath your heels. Your toes seem to be digging in. I might still want to put a pair of actual lifting shoes on you, and you can still use the plates. If that's carpeting, I think that's why you're feeling variable in your ankles. But the good thing is what you're doing is exactly what you need to do to improve your hip and ankle mobility. I actually don't have a lot of feedback, just other than I really want to make sure the floor beneath you is really stable, and to make sure that picture of Arnold and Franca are in every one of your videos. This is just, that's my only feedback. That was really great. All right. Karen, I bet it's an RDL. Last time at the bottom, girl. Same as before. So she's got great mobility. Again, beautiful flat back. I would just rather see the weight stop just below the knee and go heavier. Go heavier and go shorter, because all we got to do is load here. Again, it's the burden of something that's hypermobile. Just because you can go further doesn't mean you should. I love this. Everything looks great. Your breath, your pace. Just, I would go heavier weights and not quite as far, dear. Shove that butt back. And you do not need to pause at the bottom there. I'm not quite sure. Just kind of like take that hang time moment, that just reach and come back. I think with lifting, I don't move in straight lines. I think about moving in circles, right? Cycling. That's how I move. Okay. Well done. Oh, good. John again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So John, this is dope, man. You're just too far away from the bar. I want you to get up in its face, be right next to it. So on that first pull, especially, the bar should be touching your knees. You should be right there, right next to it, and have your hips loaded a little bit more than you have. I'll take a little bit more. Oh, good. Good clench there with his mid back. See how it kind of goes away from him? You're 6 inches away, John. Get that bar right next to you. So step into your rack further and you're going to be happier. Nice. Nice completion on those reps. All right, Matthew. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Matthew. Read my mind. Haha. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at his hips kick back. He's going the perfect range. I always say reach, squeeze your butt, drive to center. Those are my cues when I go reach, squeeze, pull. Reach, squeeze, pull. Take those words with you guys. Dude, Matt, awesome. I don't really have any notes. This looks amazing. Just go heavier. That was awesome. All right, Bridget. Ah. Can everybody see her hips not fully coming through? Not bad, but a detail that I care about. I want you to finish the expression of the hip extension. It's so important, okay? Finish that hip extension. That means your hips should come all the way through. And I don't need you to tuck your butt under, but I need you to finish. You look stable though. This looks awesome. The bar's in a good place. I want you looking up instead of down, Bridge. Eye line up. Perfect shoes. Great depth. Just finish the hips forward. And I'm gonna say it again. Bridget, I see your feet moving a little bit. Feel it out on the work sets, but when you start to on the work up sets, but when you start to work, know where your feet are and don't deviate. Right? I see some movement in between the sets. Make a choice and stick with it and make that your home base. All right, Jacob. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for the rack pull, you're trying to get that higher. Very inventive, Jacob. Well, from this angle, you're looking pretty solid. I will tell you, I would move these pads up so your toes aren't hanging off the front. I know you're on the call. Move the pads up so you're not gripping there. Like I'd rather have you really centered. Grip looks good, hinge looks good, control looks good. I'll take a little more tension in your mid back, but that's pretty darn steady. Do you have a lateral view for me as well or no? Yeah, kind of. Here we go. Oh, no, you don't. Okay, next time, I could tell you're limited on space, but if you have a lateral view or another front view, I'll take it. Jacob, are you not able to stand? Do you have a ceiling requirement? Or a sit? Maybe he's not in the call anymore. If anybody's doing a kneeling exercise, this is a fun teaching moment. This is fine. Put your heels together. Your toes should be under, not tucked like this, but under, so your big toes on and your heels are together. It will turn your glutes and your hips on. So you'll make a triangle with your legs and it will create more hip stability if you're ever here. Great range of motion. Yep. Difficult to coach you on this because of the view, Jacob, but like good range of motion, good control. I like what I'm seeing. Put those heels together though, okay, bud? Last two videos. All right, Nick. I love the inventiveness in all your homes. Great. Perfect. I just want your hips a little higher, Nick. Same thing with the angle. If you just have your hips slightly up here, like if this part of your butt is right there, I'm in heaven as a coach because I'm seeing everything in line, great spine, everything's ready to go. You're just pulling from more of a squat. Oh, see how you already fixed it? Yeah, so part of what's happening to Nick, and it's important to see how he's trying to elevate the floor. He's putting like cushions and stuff. Nick, essentially, you need to bring the floor just a little higher, even. So trust your instincts. You're on track. This looks great. But I think if you bring the floor a little higher, you'll be able to get your hips in the right position. All right, here we go. What a video to end on. Ooh. These look like intentional dead pulls, like pause pulls. He's pausing right below the knee. Oh, well, listen, this is a very advanced movement. I like the composition of his feet to hips. I would ask, I don't know whose this is because I can't see your face and there's no name. I would ask you to tuck your chin a little bit, see how his neck's creating that like right degree, that 90-degree angle. But I would rather take you chin down a little bit to flatten your back a little bit more. But this is a great expression of power. And just make sure your elbows are long. Yeah, really good. Wow. This requires a lot of patience. Good core connect. Yep. Yep. Change the neck a little bit, angle, you'll get a little bit flatter back, and I think you'll feel it in your hips more than in your back. This is good though. I didn't realize maybe it's a program I haven't done yet. I didn't realize we had pause deads on the programming. That's real stuff. Okay, I know I went a little over, but I always do. Really good to see everybody. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me. I'm pretty sure Nick will probably do more form checks this week because he's been doing so many, but I'm proud of us for getting through them all. Thank you for all your kind words and on all your love and for listening, letting me share earlier. I love doing this with you guys. I'll see you in the app and let's have a great week. Okay.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Noah, thanks for being here and helping. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Noah.